Can her Louvre tours go on without the stolen jewels? Jewelry swiped from the museum played a prominent part in a private guide's tours of Paris. Now what? Anya Firestone's visit to the Apollo Gallery at the Louvre Museum on Saturday was no different than the dozens of times she had been there before. A day later, Ms. Firestone, a private tour guide in Paris who caters to a rarefied clientele, learned her itineraries might never be the same after thieves had stolen some of the gallery's French crown jewels on Sunday morning. The stolen pieces have featured prominently in her tours. Ms. Firestone has used them as a way to explain France's evolution from monarchy to empire to republic, she said. Her favorite design was a bow-shaped tasseled brooch crafted with some 2,438 diamonds for Empress Eugenie, whose husband, the monarch Napoleon III, was Napoleon Bonaparte's nephew. I had a deep knot in my stomach in the shape of the Empress's diamond bow corsage, Ms. Firestone said about the bauble, which was featured at the 1855 Exposition Universelle in Paris. In 1887, the French government auctioned it off along with many crown jewels, a sale that Ms. Firestone said was meant to erase royal ties. The Louvre bought the piece in a private sale in 2008, after it was slated to go on the block again at Christie's. The brooch was one of 8 19th-century pieces lifted from the museum, which together had a staggering assortment of pearls, emeralds, sapphires, and diamonds. On Tuesday, Paris's top prosecutor said that their total value was around €88 million, or $102.1 million. That morning, Ms. Firestone, a native New Yorker living in Paris and working as a tour guide licensed by France's Ministry of Culture, made her way back to the Louvre for the first time since the robbery. Standing outside the museum, which has been closed since the theft took place, she watched as police officers stood guard with a police dog on a sidewalk below the second-floor Apollo Gallery, which faces the Seine. "What Grace Kelly flick is this?" said Miss Firestone, who was dressed in rhinestone Dior mules and a cream Chloe trench coat, "my detective corps," as she put it in a French accent. Later, while sipping on a warm concoction of ginger, lemon and honey at the Ritz Paris, Ms. Firestone estimated she had visited the gallery more than 100 times. "For people interested in fashion and in jewelry, I will never skip that room," she said, describing the jewels within as the last glittering echo of France's monarchy as it transitioned from kings to empires and into something else. Ms. Firestone likes to tell customers how Napoleon traded the fleur-de-lis, the logo of the French monarchy, for the bee, a symbol of hard workers and, she said, a genius rebrand. She hoped that the stolen jewels, which also included tiaras, necklaces, and earrings, would be kept intact, instead of being dismantled gem by gem and sold piecemeal as some experts have predicted. "I like to think there's a chance of recovery," she said, adding jokingly that you want all the Pink Panthers on the case, all the bonds. Either way, she thinks the theft will only make the Apollo Gallery a more popular destination, in the same way that a more than century-old heist at the Louvre did for the museum. When the Mona Lisa was stolen from the Louvre in 1911, people didn't stop coming, Ms. Firestone said. They came to see the space she left behind. "I'd approach the jewel theft in the same way," she added. "I see this loss as entering the jewels story rather than ending it. A theft fit for a novel." In Paris, thefts of cultural treasures have a strangely cinematic quality, and this one was no exception. Security footage reportedly showed the burglars entering through a side service corridor in the early morning hours, bypassing alarms and motion detectors. French media dubbed them Les Phantoms du Louvre, the ghosts of the Louvre, for their precision and stealth. The heist appeared to take place in under 8 minutes, the time it might take a visitor to linger in front of a single painting. "It's almost poetic," said Miss Firestone, half in awe, half in disbelief. "They slipped through time, just like the ghosts of history I talk about in my tours." For Firestone, the jewels were not mere objects but historical storytellers, the sparkle that connects the revolution to haute couture. She would gesture toward the glass case where the diamond bow glistened and say, "This is where monarchy met modernity." Now, she says, she'll have to rewrite that story. Reinventing the tour. In the aftermath, Ms. Firestone has been reimagining her tours. "Paris is an onion," she said, "and you can always peel another layer." Her new concept, the Absence Tour, tracing what's missing in French art and history, from vanished monarchies to stolen jewels. She plans to take guests to the Apollo Gallery, even if the cases are empty, and use the space as a meditation on impermanence. What is luxury if not the illusion of eternity, she mused. These gems were supposed to last forever. Now they're gone, and that says more about our age than their sparkle ever could. Some clients have already expressed curiosity. They're fascinated, she said. They want to see where it happened. It's like visiting a crime scene drenched in diamonds. A museum under pressure. The Louvre, for its part, has faced questions about how such an audacious theft could occur in one of the most secure museums on Earth. Officials have not disclosed details, citing the ongoing investigation, but insiders describe an institution struggling with aging infrastructure and rising visitor numbers. The Louvre is both fortress and labyrinth, said Pascal Dupont, a former curator. But even a fortress has cracks when it guards too many treasures. Security experts have speculated that the thieves may have had inside knowledge of the gallery's alarm system or timed their break-in during a shift change. French police have enlisted Interpol's help, fearing the jewels could be smuggled abroad within days. The symbolism of loss. To Miss Firestone, the theft is more than a security breach, it's a cultural metaphor. We live in an era obsessed with speed and spectacle, she said. What better symbol of that than jewels disappearing overnight? She reflected on the Empress Eugenie herself, a woman who embodied the glitter and fragility of empire. Her jewels were her power, Firestone said softly. And now, even that power has been stolen twice, once by history, once by thieves. She sometimes wonders if the thieves understood what they were taking. Did they know they were stealing not just diamonds, but identity? The story of a country trying to dazzle its way out of revolution? Echoes of the Mona Lisa. The Louvre, of course, has survived theft before. When the Mona Lisa was stolen in 1911, public fascination exploded. Visitors lined up to stare at the blank space on the wall. Newspapers printed theories about secret tunnels and art heists orchestrated by rival nations. 2 years later, when the painting was found in Italy, it returned to Paris more famous than ever. Ms. Firestone expects something similar now. People will come to see the void, she said. There's a strange beauty in absence. The empty display case becomes an artwork of its own. Tour operators across Paris agree. We're already getting calls from clients asking if they can visit the robbery room, said Jean-Marc Lenoir, who runs a high-end travel company catering to American tourists. Tragedy sells, especially in Paris. Hope, and a bit of glamour. Back at the Ritz, Ms. Firestone lifted her teacup and smiled. I have a theory, she said. Maybe the jewels aren't gone forever. Maybe someone loved them too much. Her words hung in the air, shimmering like the diamonds she described. After all, she continued, Paris has always been a city that hides its treasures, and its thieves, in plain sight. Until the jewels resurface, she'll continue guiding her clients through the Apollo Gallery, now a temple to absence and imagination. In a strange way, she said, the theft has made the story more alive. People are listening. She adjusted her Dior mules, preparing to leave. The Louvre still has its crown, she said with a wink. It's just missing a few jewels.